Good morning. Now, I will say there has indeed been something that's troubled me just a tad, that's had me pondering. But right now, I would like to give Mary Beanie and Sylvia Witt Kelly a very good, great morning as it is the morning time before 5 a.m. It is 4:53. I have been up since about, probably about 2 something. I've been up since about 2 something and came to think about some of these things that we've talked about in F1 Minute that we're gonna talk about things in F1 Minute today. F1 Minute will be at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time today. That link is already up if you want to check that. So big shout out to Mary Beanie for being first in the live chat. Sylvia Witt Kelly is second in the live chat. I'm pretty sure we'll have a third in the live chat. So this is my question, not even my question. This is my perspective. This is what I think about Max Verstappen moving to Mercedes, what he'll do, Mercedes being on a trajectory of good improvement. That's a fact. I don't know if they're going to be reinstated to championship level, but if they are and if they do and Max Verstappen goes there, that's not going to give him any credit or any type of resilience as far as what he can do with an ailing team. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I do not think straight out the box Max Verstappen could have, would have, and we are going to give Icon Lasm third place, just beating Racer X210 for third place in the live chat. All right, just beating him by a very small smidgen. Racer X210 would have been third in the live chat. Good morning to everybody. So, do I think Max Verstappen could have done what Lewis Hamilton has done since 2022, 2023, and now 2024? No, I don't. I do not think Max Verstappen could have weathered that storm, nor do I think he would have weathered that storm. And I don't think he'll weather that storm with Red Bull when they get there, especially after winning the championship. I think Max Verstappen will leave sooner. I don't think Max Verstappen will stay around for 3 seasons of losing in a horrible designed car and stick with Red Bull throughout that storm, especially if he can get out of his contract. I don't think that's gonna happen. Remember, his contract goes to 2028. So if that does happen, depending on whatever the clauses may be or however he can exit after a certain amount of time, he's still got 4 more years. And it's disingenuous for people to say that Max could when they've given so many things that they could have given to us and shown us if he can. All right, we've had ridiculous comments made by Helmut Marko that Max Verstappen could take a Haas or a AlphaTauri to pole. We haven't seen it, and they've had the opportunity where they could have put him in AlphaTauri and shown us. But I will say this: Lewis Hamilton has taken a shit box of a W13, W14, and I keep calling it that because that's what it is. Mercedes made a shit box. Let's just keep it 100. All right, I've called it that for a long time. I thought it was a very nice design. I thought it would be something. I think we all thought it would be something, but then it turned out to be crap. And this happened well through 2022, happened well through 2023. But Lewis Hamilton did something in 2023, and he did so in very close margins. I mean, almost pretty much exact margins as Max Verstappen, and he put that car on pole. Lewis Hamilton took a crap car and put it on pole, albeit at the Hungarian GP. I went back in my files right here for the timesheets. And as you see right there, 0.003. That is a driver doing what he can do with a car that is not the best on the grid by far and putting it on pole position. Did it happen a lot of times? No, but he was able to do it. Could Max Verstappen have done it? I doubt it, because I don't think with Max Verstappen's mindset, he would have even been able to compete within that environment. They were constantly failing. Mercedes was constantly failing. It was a horrible situation. So no, I don't think Max Verstappen can put a Haas or an AlphaTauri on pole for one, Helmut Marko. I don't think Max Verstappen would have been able to put a W14 on pole at all at any portion of the season. And I think that still is credit to what Lewis Hamilton can and is still doing in the sport of Formula One. Now, is Max a phenomenal driver? Yes, he's a phenomenal driver. Is he a great? No, not to me just yet. But for people to say that he probably could or he would, I think that's being a bit disingenuous, because Max shows you right now in real time, as he still sits in one of the most dominant, I'll say one of the dominant cars on the grid, is just out of the most dominant car in Formula One history. We could debate, while Mercedes has had probably one of the most, if not most, epic fails of designing a car. We see right now when things aren't exactly right, even though he gets pole position, he cries and whines on the radio. Okay, he starts laying fault to everything aside from himself. Okay, Max Verstappen gets into it with GP. I mean, he starts crying profusely on the radio. Does that, now you take that small bit of an experience or an event, you magnify it or multiply it times 100 of what Lewis Hamilton and Russell have endured at Mercedes with the W13, the W14, and even the beginning season part of the W15. And you think Max Verstappen is going to make it through that with resilience? You have to be playing. You have to be playing, okay? If you think that, feel free to come on to F1 Minute today, this evening, where you can come on and tell me something like that. We're going to be discussing all types of topics, okay? But if this comes up, we'll talk about it. Now, let's talk about if Max moves to Mercedes, which we have talked about several things in regards to how we feel about Mercedes and the so-called rumors of the contract that they may have offered Max Verstappen in comparison to what the board was willing to accept offering Lewis Hamilton, and it was disrespectful. I'm just going to call it like it is. It's disrespectful. It's something of, I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible for you to do somebody like that. It is still highly competitive. I want to know, what is the reason why you would not offer a driver at the level of Lewis Hamilton, still competing and winning in a car that you're still trying to put together after 3 years? Why would you not give him a legacy type deal? He couldn't have been wanting to stay in the sport for 5+ years. Couldn't have. I doubt it. I don't think Lewis Hamilton would have. I mean, if he's able, probably. But I think Lewis Hamilton is seeing that his next level of life is in sight. And I think after 5 more years, I think he'll probably be like, you know what, I'm good. Now, it could be that if Lewis stays in and he's still highly competitive, still winning races, still in the battle for the championship, he stays around. But for Mercedes not to give Lewis that deal after everything he's done and that they've done together, that was dirty. And then for to come out and we hear that there is circulating news that Mercedes were going to offer Max Verstappen a similar type deal that they didn't want to offer Lewis. Yeah, I think that was a bit dirty. Now, I don't know where Mercedes will be in 2025, 2026, which we're going to talk about that topic on F1 Minute. Who shines in 2026, the new regulations as they come up. Big shout out to Delaney. Big shout out to Mimi checking into the live chat. Big shout out to Racer X210. So we're going to talk about that. Who do you think will shine? But let's just not forget, okay, because the Hungarian GP in itself was awesome. All right, it was awesome. Matter of fact, let me see if I have that. Let me bring the new timesheet in to place from the Hungarian GP, because I do have that in my files right here while we're talking about it, just off the Belgium. And let me see, GP right there, I can bring that in. All right, so yeah, the GP right here. And let's also not forget that here, again, Max Verstappen, while Lewis edged him out for pole position, right there, you see it. Max Verstappen not even there. I mean, Lewis Hamilton third on the podium this season. So yeah, you could say very good track for Lewis. You could say, yo, he does very well at this track. Well, I would expect that if you are calling Max Verstappen your GOAT, that while he is in said car, he'd be able to do said things as well. And no, I do not think that Mercedes will have a dominant as car as Red Bull and Adrian Newey were able to develop in the past couple of years going forward. I think things are going to be very mixed up going forward. I think between McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, maybe even Aston Martin, you can't toss them out. They will be getting with Honda. They have shown us that they have the ability to be competitive and even somewhat leading edge dominant in spurts with their design in the AMR. So I'm not counting them out. And don't forget, regulations kicking in, ground effects kind of being a little bit diminished going forward, taken out of the equation. I don't think that there's going to be a dominant situation like we've just seen for a little bit. It's going to happen again. These things happen in cycles, so it's not like it's going to happen again. But unless Max Verstappen is in a situation like that, no, he's not gonna be able to do, and I think that's what's gonna expose that element of people debating. And it's crazy for even people to debate. It's crazy for people to even still right now even say things like Max Verstappen is a better driver than Lewis Hamilton in career comparisons. It's crazy. I don't even know why people would do it. You do it, and then when people like me bring up stats and facts, then you want to try to use the disclaimer of, oh, well, Lewis has been in longer. And no, don't do it. You shouldn't have did it at all. Don't try to say that Max Verstappen's better than Lewis Hamilton, that Max Verstappen's the GOAT, that Max Verstappen's the greatest driver. And then when we start comparing statistical data and achievements and accomplishments, you want to try to use the disclaimer that Lewis Hamilton's been in the game longer, so that's why you can't compare him. It's like a dog chasing its damn tail. Don't do it. Just enjoy what Max Verstappen is doing. And maybe one day hope to see that if a driver that you like in Max Verstappen will achieve the levels that Lewis Hamilton has, awesome. But I could even say right now, even in this current time, that Lewis Hamilton's proven that he's likely still the best driver on the grid. A total package, teamwork, ability, experience, talent, marketability, reach, public speaking. Like Lewis Hamilton is a total package. He is still the best driver in Formula One. Still the best driver in Formula One. He's been the best driver in Formula One in a crap car for the past few years. That's just true. He's been the best driver in a crap car. Because I'm telling you, you're not seeing anything different or better from Max Verstappen if he's in a W13, a W14, or right now just getting into a W15. You're not seeing it. As a matter of fact, starting out in their careers, if you want to say you find me a Red Bull car that was as bad as the W13 was in Max Verstappen's line, which they probably had some because the Renault, but I'm talking about in design. And we know Kenny Bugs came on and let us know that, hey, he felt that Adrian Newey designed a very superior aerodynamic car, but it was the Renault power unit that was the epic fail in that car. And I think he's I agree with him on that because it was a smoke bomb in that situation, and we saw Renault do that. But we do know that Max Verstappen came into Formula One about 2015, and he didn't even get his first pole until 2019. He didn't even get his first pole to years later. Lewis Hamilton came into Formula One and started getting poles in his first damn season. I think he had 6 or 7 poles, maybe 8 in his first season. Lewis Hamilton, throughout his career, has battled top drivers as teammates in the garage next to him. Lewis Hamilton, in his career, has had to mentally deal with the anguish of racism, homophobic slurs, fucking biasness, discrimination. Max Verstappen ain't dealing with that. He's not dealing with that. Straight up. Max Verstappen has been coddled in his career. I've said this many times. You can't name me a champion that Max Verstappen has had to drive next to in the other. Oh, by the way, big shout out. Big shout out. Man, I forgot to tell y'all. I was going to show y'all. Here we go. Had the Fantasy Draft Party kart racing event this past weekend. Wolfpack came in first. All right, Wolfpack came in first. Kart racing event this weekend. Wolfpack came in first. I was supposed to show y'all that, and I forgot, so that's my bad. But yeah, we came in first this weekend for a kart racing event at K1 Speed. So big shout out on that. That was me driving, by the way. So yeah, and I told you all, I keep it real. I got a bit of Max Verstappen S type, Schumacher S type driving style. If I see you there, I might rub you the wrong way. You feel me? So it might be some of this. I never capped on that. I'm a very aggressive driver and always a little bit over the line. But then again, that's why I'm not in the Formula One car, because I'll probably tear that shit up. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Max Verstappen is not there yet, but still, I said this and I will agree with it. If Max wins his championship this season, I don't think it will be sincere to say that he's not among the greats. I don't think that'd be sincere to say that Max is not then among the greats. Because if you consider Seb a great and Max Verstappen gets his 4th championship, thank you, Mary Beanie says Lewis had 6 poles in his rookie season. Thank you. I thought it was around there, 6, 7, or 8. I thought it was around there, so I wasn't far off. So yeah, 6, 7, or 8, 6 poles in his rookie season. So if you just will have to consider him among the greats, because if you consider Seb great, I don't think it would be sincere, and I don't think it would be appropriate if you then didn't consider Max. Although I know 2021, I don't count that. Statistically, it does count. I don't count that championship. All right, so this season, I say among. He'll have to win another one for me to be like, he is great. And it's going to have to be one where it's not in a, I don't want to say that either, because things happen and the driver can't control. See, this is where I am objective. And people try to act like I'm not. The driver is not in control to the degree of the team creating a dominant car. And if a driver gets a dominant car, is he supposed to say, no, detune the car or make the car, don't make the car so good that it's better than everybody else. Turn the engine down. Nobody's going to do that. You're going to the kart track and it's just recreation, and you're going to the dude at the gate and you're going to ask him, like, which one of these cars is the fastest? You're going to do that. Come on. I've tipped the guy $5 or $10 and say, hey, which one of these cars is the fastest? That's the one I want. Nobody's going to do that. So I'm not blaming Max, and I'm not going to say Max should and he shouldn't. So we can't blame him for Adrian Newey and the Red Bull team making and developing a car that was just out of this world. We blame Max on things that he does on track that he has full control of. He's not getting away from that. We blame the Red Bull camp and the FIA for the cheating and the scandal that they allowed to happen. They're not getting away from that. But as it sits in situations where it's just that he's in a dominant car, and I know the dominant car is kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy because then we know that the dominant car likely was a ripple of breaching the cost cap, which in that fashion was cheating too. So it's really it's hard to be very objective with Red Bull with everything that's going on and the crap that the FIA is allowed. I know, but just try to find a way to be somewhat objective in the portion that if Max wins another championship outside of this season, which is kind of in limbo, 70-something points is a big swing, but it's a swing that's possible. Imagine if Lando comes out of nowhere with McLaren, not out of nowhere at this point in time, because we've seen them and we know they're very competitive. Hell, we just saw them have their 1 and 2 situation here in Hungary, a 1 and 2 with their rookie getting the race win and Hamilton on third. So it's not saying out of nowhere, but it is saying that I think it would be one of the biggest swings in Formula One, if not the biggest, one of the biggest swings for points in the Drivers' Championship, if Lando Norris was able to overcome that differential and claim the Drivers' Championship by the end of the season. That's going to be crazy. And not only is that going to be crazy, that's also going to show you something, because I already showed you all this, right? I showed you all this and you saw it. Okay, you saw what I showed you when it came to Max Verstappen, right? I showed you this, and It was all real. Max Verstappen's situation and his stats as it sits with him being right now in the last few races hasn't been the best situation. Okay? Has not been the best situation. It's been pretty ugly. 28% win rate is what I think I showed you all. I think I showed you all that. A 28% win rate. That right there is crazy right now. And that's just with the little differences that are happening in the team. That ain't even nothing real big happening. I mean, that ain't nothing W13 like happening. That's crazy when you think about it. When you think about the situation, Max Verstappen and not being able to take these races with a car that is still very dominant, that's saying something. So imagine what things are going to be like for Red Bull next season as these teams continue to improve. McLaren, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Imagine Adrian Newey's not going to be there. Imagine Jonathan Wheatley and the rest of other teams are employees in the team that are very impactful on the development of Red Bull throughout the course of a season being poached and leaving. It's going to be challenging. And that is where you are going to see, even if things were not going to be as dominant, still will Max Verstappen's ability, will Max Verstappen's talent, will his skill, will all of this proclaimed greatness that people are throwing out here be able to prevail in the midst of equal competition and other drivers with great skill, ability, and talent? You're going to see that. We've already seen that Max Verstappen's ability to wheel-to-wheel drive in a competitive environment turns him into a bull in China shop mentality. The dude wrecks more than he races in those situations. He's depending on pushing you off track. He's depending on dive bombing. He's depending on all those Mad Max tactics that we saw back then, and we just had them dampened throughout the course of a seasons where the car was so dominant, no other team was competing because they were 20 plus seconds out. Now that things are reeled back in and we're talking about tenths, hundreds, thousands of a second, those characteristics of Max have resurfaced. The makeup has hit the rain, and it's starting to rain down, and we're starting to see the true face again of Max Verstappen. So no, in my opinion, I don't think Max could have weathered the storm from the W13 to the W15. In my opinion, no, I don't think Max could do more than what Lewis has been able to do at Mercedes from then to now. In my opinion, no, I don't think if Max goes to Mercedes, he's going to all of a sudden, unless they build a W16, what would it be then? Because we W15 right now. 2025 will be the W16. 2026 will be the W17. So 2027. So we talking about W19 by time if this Helmut Marko clause and Max contract, we talking about W19, W20 possibility that if Max was to leave and go into something. Appreciate it, Mary Bean. I just seen that. Appreciate that. Go into a Mercedes if that is going to happen, which I don't know if it's going to happen, because I'll tell you something like this that's also on the board. I'm going to tell you something that I think is also on the board. I think people need to keep in mind, because I think they forget with a lot of other things happening. Don't forget that Max Verstappen has alluded to leaving the sport of Formula One and going to compete in other driving racing series. Don't forget that Max Verstappen has also been on record as saying that he doesn't see himself in the sport for said amount of time that equals up to what Alonso or Lewis Hamilton has done. Don't forget Max Verstappen has been on record or quoted to saying that he would leave Formula One and go do something else. Don't forget that. So it's quite possible that long amount of time, it may have been discussed in behind closed doors. Max Verstappen may have told him, this is when I plan to stop racing in Formula One and I'll be done. And you have this much time to get as much done as you can. Paul, what's going on, fam? First super chatting alive. Good morning, fam. Hope everyone has a great day. Peace and love. Oh, man, I forgot. Yo, I forgot. I got to show y'all something. I got to show y'all something real quick. I did forget this. Hold on. Hold on. I got to show y'all something. Hold on real quick. Hey, I hate to walk off screen, but hold on. Hold on. All right. All right. I'm going to tell y'all this, okay? Because you know what we do here at Wolfpack. You know what we do, all right? So I'm going to tell y'all this. Super chats don't just go missed, all right? I'm going to show y'all something. Super chats do not just go missed. We are going to have another super chat raffle where somebody is going to win something. So I'm going to take all the super chats that happened up until the Belgian GP from the last time we did our last one. Dave Quattro, you're just coming in on a very good time. And we are going to raffle off this. I've acquired a Gem Mint 10 Lewis Hamilton Topps Chrome card. All right. This Gem Mint 10 PSA rated. You see it right there. PSA rated Gem Mint 10. Somebody is going to get this. All right. I am going to bring the wheel up. I'm going to put all the names in from the super chat, and somebody will be receiving this Lewis Hamilton card right here. All right. 2021. Lewis Hamilton Topps Chrome, Gem Mint 10, paid, rated, slabbed, sealed, ready to go. All right, so somebody's going to be receiving this from the super chat. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take all the super chats, we're going to put them into a wheel, and from there, we're going to spin that wheel, likely probably when the race, the season comes back on from break, we're going to see who's going to win this. Now, guess what? It won't be your last time. I have at least 3 of these different type of Lewis Hamilton cards in a slab where they are going to be raffled off to people that participate in the super chat, in the live events, in the in the super likes. All of those are going to be accumulated. They're going to go into the wheel. I have at least 3 of these Gem Mint 10s in different fashion. They're different Lewis Hamilton cards. They've all been rated. I paid for them to be rated, paid for them to be slabbed, but you are going to receive this. This is my way to give back to you all for all the awesome things you do, for coming here to the channel, for supporting the channel, for your good energy, for your encouragement in me to continue to improve in the field. I just feel like doing things for you all like this is awesome. So I have more than just this one, okay? Don't also forget, I will be raffling off a Lewis Hamilton mini helmet as well, and some other things throughout the course of this season. So we're going to see more of those. So I'm going to take those super chats. Somebody is going to be a very happy person to receive this collector's item. All right. Is the W12. All right. This is W12. So, you know, this is one of the most dominant Mercedes cars, and it is Lewis Hamilton. So I'm very excited when the first race comes back. I think we're in the Netherlands. When we come back from break, we're in the Netherlands, the first race. That's when we're going to do the raffle for this card, and somebody is going to win this. So Gem Mint 10, it doesn't get better than that. All right. It does not get better than a Gem Mint 10 when it comes to grading a card. Gem Mint 10 is the absolute best in grading of a card that you can get. That means the card is pristine and perfect. All right. So you could imagine that when Lewis Hamilton retires, the value on this card is going to go up. When he retires, even if he moves to Ferrari, because you won't see these produced anymore, the value is going to go up. So this is going to be a very nice item for somebody to have going forward, whether you pass it down to somebody or you keep it in your personal collection or you hold on to it and then you sell it to get even more money back for yourself. So just my way of giving back to you all, showing you all some love in the ways that I can. All right. There are also other things I've been working on, but it takes a lot more money and it takes time, and it's just me working on things. So I gotta, I know I'm be behind, but I always get caught up and I always do make things happen that I say I'm gonna make happen. Sometimes it just takes me longer than I like because it's just me doing everything. I'm a one man band. All right. So listen, that's my thing. Don't forget F1 Minute. We will be live tonight for F1 Minute, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The show and the link is already set. We're going to hopefully have a better showing this time. Last time I had thunderstorms in the area and it was crazy as hell. And so it was very, very crazy. All right. I also will be posting any new family members that have joined the channel. I will go back and I'm going to post the welcome post for those family members. I also will be posting the big thanks for the super chats that people have done since the last time I posted. I will get the names of everybody that's done super chats. We will have a couple of big wolves, all right? You know, we can do the big wolf chat. And I already know Automane Tanny, Naw is already one of the big wolf chat. And the big wolf chat is those who do like the big super chats. I'm talking about Naw dropped $100 super chat on last time. I think Jesse James Bell is going to be on that list. So I'm going to work today and tomorrow to give you all credit for the awesome things that you've done and big appreciation. So F1 Minute, people need to understand that F1 Minute is also my way of giving back to you all and sharing a platform that you all spend time at, that you all support. F1 Minute is my way to give back to you all, to let you all share my platform with me. A lot of content creators and most content creators are not doing that. And it sucks that they don't, because you all show up, you view the shows, you watch the shows, you share the shows, you comment on the shows. Why then would I not try to incorporate you all in the content creation process? Deserve so, okay? Especially Wolfpack family members. So I really appreciate you all. I love you all for the things that you do and the many things that you say. And all you haters, hey, you know, y'all appreciate it too. You can't have love without hate. You know what I'm saying? If you don't got that, then you ain't truly loved anyway. So you know what they say, if you ain't being hated on, you really ain't doing nothing. You don't make a difference. So big shout out to you all. I will see you all this evening. Good morning. Have a great day. Don't let anybody spoil it. And if they do, come to F1 Minute, get your energy off. Don't beat nobody up and put it in that show, and then go forward the next day and have an awesome week. I'll see you all soon. Peace and love. And we will have grudge racing again next week. I'm out. Peace.